Hi, I'm Madam Lons, your online teacher in pattern drafting and dressmaking, and this is our lesson number 3, drafting the body foundation. In lesson number 2, we have already learned you have taken up how to take personal body measurement for women accurately and carefully. And now that I know that all of you are really excited to draft a lot of patterns and a lot of styles of dresses, right? Okay, so before we start on doing the actual demonstration on how to draft the body foundation, let me introduce to you what is the importance of body foundation in dressmaking. The body foundation pattern is really important to all dressmakers because from this body foundation you can actually draft a lot of patterns and a lot of styles. I will gonna teach you on how to manipulate the body foundation pattern to transform into many different styles and into many different patterns of dresses. So dapat na matutuhan kung paano gumawa ng body foundation pattern. Ito yung magsisilbing mother pattern or a master pattern. Okay?
Yan, so before we start on drafting the pattern, syempre we must prepare the following. Measuring and drafting equipments. Ayan, kung wala kayong copy, nasa description box. Ililink ko sa description box, and then dapat meron kayong copy nung guide chart in drafting the body foundation pattern. Nasa PDF files yan at pwede nyo kunin sa description box below. And also, dapat meron kayong personal body measurement. Ayan, kailangan meron kayong copy din na naka-prepare. Okay, so let's proceed.
As you can see, the shaping of the body foundation is based on two rectangles which represents the half of the back and the half of the front. The two rectangles are what we so-called the blocks. The size of these two rectangles or what we so-called the blocks is determined by the chest or bust measurement. Nakabase sa bust measurement ng isang tao. Kung ilan yung lapad, i-divide sa 4, yung measurement ng bust, and then yun ang magiging lapad ng bawat blocks. Okay? And the shaping within these two blocks is by the figure measurement. So magkakaroon ng mga horizontal lines para mailagay yung shaping ng ating blocks. So, yan ang ituturo ko sa inyo. So now, the first step is to draw the rectangular blocks which represents the half of the back and the half of the front. The width of the back foundation block is a 1/4 of the bust measurement and the length is as required. The width of the front foundation block is the 1/4 of the bust measurement plus 2.5 of a centimeter or 1 inch for the tolerance over the diaphragm because of her bust. So in my example, I have here a bust measurement of 34 inches plus 2 inches for the bust easing. So I'll get 36 inches or 91.5 of a centimeter. Then I'll divide it by 4. I will get 9 inches or 23 centimeter. So the 9 inches will be the width of my blocks. So let's start drawing the rectangular blocks.
That's the starting point.
There. Then we will draw the vertical lines here. So the length of the rectangle blocks is as required. So I will put here as an example 30 inches. So we will mark 30 inches so that we will put the length of 32 inches. So we will put the width of the block 9 inches. 9 inches is 9 inches. There. So we will measure. So dapat 30 inches ang kanyang haba. Square natin dyan, dito. Ayan. So this is the back foundation block. So, pwede natin siyang lagyan ng label na back. Okay. Maglalagyan na lang tayo ng space dito for about 4 inches na lang. Hindi naman required kung ilan, basta mayroon siyang allowance dito. Spacing para sa dalawang blocks. So, lalagyan natin ng spacing like that. Para doon sa front block. Okay. Ang haba ng ating front pattern, katulad din ng haba ng ating is 30. So, ang haba is 30. Ang lapad ng gagawin natin para sa front block is the 1/4, as I have said, is the 1/4 of the bust measurement plus 1 inch as tolerance or 2.5 of a centimeter as a tolerance over the diaphragm because of her bust. So, yung 9 inches, kung dito 9 inches yung sa back, dito magdadagdag sa front ng 1 inch. So, magiging 10 inches yung lapad ng block. Hindi magkapareho ng lapad sa back. Mas malapad ang front because of her bust. Here. Okay. So, magkakaroon tayo na. Okay. There. So this is the front. So after we establish the two rectangles which represents the back and the front, now we are ready to locate the horizontal lines to give shaping of our pattern. So the first line to be measured is the shoulder guidelines na siyang kukunin natin dun sa ating guide chart. So, ang shoulder guideline, so batay dun sa kanyang bust measurement na 36 inches or 92 of a centimeter, ang shoulder guideline para dito is 2.5 inches or 6.5 of a centimeter. Kukunin natin yan pababa mula dito sa pinaka-top ng ating rectangle. For the shoulder guideline, we will measure 2.5 of an inch or 6.5 of a centimeter from the top of the block. And the same for the front block. Okay. There. There. Okay, so this is our shoulder guideline. So, lagyan ng label para hindi kayo malito. Para shoulder guideline. The next horizontal line is the bust guideline. So, kukunin natin ang bust guideline dun sa ating guide chart na binigay ko sa inyo. So ang ating bust guideline dito ay 8 3/4 or 22.5 of a centimeter at kukunin din dito sa pinakataas pababa. Dito sa pinakaunang guhit, dito sa pinaka-top of blocks. Ang 8 3/4 mula dito pababa. 8 3/4. 8 3/4. So ganun din sa ating front block, 8 3/4, 8 3/4. Okay. Then here also. Okay, so this is our bust guideline. Guideline. This is also the bust guideline. Bust guideline. Okay. So the waistline is taken from your own personal measurement. So ang ating waistline ay kukunin mula dun sa ating personal measurement, yung tinatawag nating back figure and the front figure. Kung paano nyo kinuha. So, dito natin i-apply ngayon yung back figure tsaka yung front figure. So, ang ating back figure, in my example, my back figure is 16 inches or 40.7 of a centimeter. Ilalagay natin dito yan. As usual, from the top is 16 inches. So, ilalagay natin ang line dito. So, ito yung magiging waist ng ating back pattern. Ito. So, yung ating sa waistline ng ating front block, yung i-apply dito yung front figure. So, ang front figure dito is 16 3/4 or 42.5 of a centimeter. Kaya, sabi ko nga, mas mahaba ang front figure kesa sa back figure because of her bust. In woman's pattern, it is usual that the front bodice is longer than the back bodice because of her bust. Now we will put the front figure, which is 16 3/4 here. 16 3/4 or 42.5 of a centimeter. And then we will mark this horizontal line like this. So as you can see, the waist of our front block is lower than the waist of the back. Okay, so na-establish na natin yung waist ng parehong block. So, na-establish natin ngayon yung ating waist ng ating front and back pattern through the figure measurement or yung ating front figure and the back figure. Let's proceed to the next horizontal lines, which is the hip line. The hip line, which is the first hip and the second hip. The hip lines will be measured from the waistline downward. First hip and second hip from the waistline. Yung first hip natin, yun yung tinatawag nating waist to hip bone. So, kukunin natin yan from the waistline. So, in my example, in this waist to hip bone, or yung first hip level, is 6 inches or 15.4 of a centimeter. So, ima-mark down natin dito, pababa, mula dito sa waistline. Okay? There. And then, dito sa back pattern, ganun din, 6 inches or 15.4 of a centimeter. And then, i-mark din natin siya horizontally. Ayan. So, meron na tayong first hip. Ito yung first hip. First hip. Or yung tinatawag nating waist to hip bone. So, the second level is the lower hip or the second hip, which is what we call from waist. Ito yung tinatawag nating from waist to sit or yung pinaka-broadest part of the buttocks. Okay? Magsusukat tayo mula dito sa waistline din, pababa. Ang aking sukat dito na waist to sit or for the level of second hip is 9 inches or 23 centimeter. So, we mark this like that. And also for the front blocks. So now we have second hip or the waist to sit. Now that we are already established all the horizontal lines, always remember that the shoulder guideline the bust guideline and the waistline are taken from the top of the blocks downward. And the hip line, the first hip and the second hip will be measured down from the waistline. This is the center. The center of the back. Then also here is the center of the front. This side will represent the side seam of each block. So the side seam will face each other. So now, let us proceed to locating the vertical lines which represent the neck guideline. So the neck guideline, kukunin natin yan dun sa guide chart natin. So ang neck guideline for this is 2.5 of an inch or 6.5 of an centimeter. So susukatin natin yan mula dito sa center pa ganon. Okay? We will put 2.5 of an inch, and then we will draw a line here. This will be the neck guideline. So mamaya lalagyan natin ng forma yan. So ganun din dito sa front, kung ilan yung ginawa mo dito na 2.5 or 6.5 of a centimeter, then ilalagay din natin dito para sa kanyang front. Okay. So this will be the neck guideline for the front blocks, and this will be the neck guideline for our back foundation block. Now, the next vertical line is the armhole guideline. So, para makuha natin yung vertical line para sa armhole, kukunin natin or i-apply natin dito yung back chest width or yung back width. From the bust guideline, we will go up at least 2.5 of an inch, and then we will mark in a pencil there. So from this line, dito natin i-apply yung ating back chest width. In my example, I used back chest width na 13 and a half. So, i-divide sa 2 yung back chest width na 13 and a half. So, dito natin i-apply yan. Okay? So, ang kalahati niyan is 6 and 3/4. So, we will mark 6 and 3/4 here papunta sa taas. 6 and 3/4. Okay? So, magkakaroon tayo ng guhit na vertical line dito. From there, from here. So, this will be the guideline for the armhole. So, ganun din dito, i-apply na natin yung vertical line para sa armhole through the front chest width. So, ang front chest width na kinuha ko dito, in my example, is 12 and a half. So, i-divide sa 2, magiging 6 and 1/4. From the bust guideline, magkakaroon tayo ng guide muna na 2 and a half. So, dito natin i-apply yung ating front chest width or front width. 6 and 1/4, diba? Hanggang sa taas. Okay, so lalagyan natin ng guhit na vertical line. So, nalagay na natin yung mga vertical lines para makapag-shape tayo ng neck guidelines at saka yung ating armhole guideline. Ito yung armhole guideline, ito yung neck guideline. So, we are ready now to shape the foundation. Sa back neckline, kukuha tayo ng 3/4 of an inch or 2 cm dito. Dito, pababa mula dito sa top. So, lalagyan natin ng guhit or curved line like this. There. So this is our neck or the back neck curve. For the shoulder measurement, the shoulder slope, we will go up at least 3/4 of an inch or 2 centimeter. Using the pencil, we will draw an imaginary line here at least 3/4 of an inch or 2 centimeter here, and draw the imaginary line using the pencil there, so that we will put the shoulder slope or the shoulder width here. This is the shoulder width, so we will put the shoulder width here. So in my example, I will put 5 inches shoulder width or 12.8 of a centimeter. We will begin and we will fall the point here at the imaginary line that you made. Okay, so we will put the 5 inches. It will fall at the imaginary line, which we adjust upward 3/4 of an inch or 2 centimeter here. So iguguhit natin siya dito. Ayun, so nag-fall siya yung shoulder slope dito. Guguhit na natin ang ating curve line, ang ating sa armhole curve na magpo-fall mula dito. Magpo-fall siya dito sa guhit na to hanggang dito sa, so magko-connect yan. Okay? Para sa neck ng front foundation natin, magda-down ka dito ng 1.5 of a centimeter or 5/8 of an inch. Dito, 5/8 of an inch meter para i-draw yung ating curve para sa neck. So this is the neck. Katulad din sa back natin, ang ginawa natin dito yung adjustment. Maglalagay muna tayo dito na 3/4 of an inch or 2 centimeter para maiguhit natin yung shoulder slope or mailagay natin yung shoulder width. Yung 3/4 of an inch or 2 centimeter as an imaginary line first. There. Then after that, we will apply the shoulder width, which is 5 inches, and we will begin measuring here at this corner up to there, kung saan magpo-fall yung 5 inches. Okay? So dito siya nag-fall. So dito siya nag-fall sa point na to. And then draw a line there. So this is the shoulder slope of the front, and then okay, so dito yan magpo-fall yung armhole curve line dito. So magpo-fall siya dito sa line na to papunta dito. Kailangan connected siya. Ayan. So, kayong bahala ang okay, sana nasusundan ninyo. Then, the next step now is to shape the side seam. Dito tayo magkakatalo. Dito, kasi hindi magkapareho ang lapad ng ating pattern, ng ating foundation block. So, ang pagdi-divide ng measurement niyan dito sa waistline ay hindi magkapareho. So, meron akong formula na ituturo sa inyo para makuha natin yung tamang proportion ng bawat waist ng hips and then etc. etc. So, ang aking original na waistline dito is 26 inches. Nagdagdag ako ng 1 inch for easing, kaya naging 27 inches yung aking waistline. So, yung waistline, i-divide ko muna sa 2, 13 and a half, yung kalahati ng 27. Ganito ang formulation yan eh. So, ang waistline ko is 27, kasama na yung easing. So, i-divide ko sa 2. Sa 2 equals 13.5 inches. Okay, so ang 13.5 inches, ima-minus ko sa pinagsamang lapad ng dalawang blocks. Ang 13, ulitin ko, ang 13.5 ima-minus ko sa pinagsamang lapad ng dalawang blocks. So, susukatin ko ngayon ang dalawang blocks. So, dito sa back foundation block is 9. Sa front foundation block is 10. So, 19 inches. So, 10 plus 9 is 19. Ima-minus ko ang 13.5 sa 19. 19 nga. And then, ito, 13.5. So, it equals to 5.5. Wait. 5.5 or 14 cm. So, ang result dito, ang difference is 5.5 of an inch or 14 cm. Ayan. So, ang gagawin dito, sa difference na yan, i-divide sa 2. Yung 5.5 inches, i-divide sa 2. So, magiging 2 and 3/4. Tama ba? O, tama. So, magiging 2 and 3/4. So, ito ngayon ang kukunin natin na i-apply, isusukatin dito, mula dito sa side seam, papunta dito. So, ang pagsukat, itong 2 and 3/4 na yan, yung 2 and 3/4 or 7 cm, ilalagay natin, i-apply natin dito. So, magpo-point tayo dito. At the same time, dito rin sa kabilang block, dito sa back. Okay? So, yan ang magko-connect dyan dito. Okay, so, makukuha natin ngayon yung tamang waist distribution. Kasi, kaya din ginawa natin itong formulation na to, kaya tayo gumawa ng ganitong formulation, kasi hindi magkapareho ang lapad ng front foundation block natin at saka yung back foundation natin para magkaroon ng proper distribution. Kaya ginawa natin ang formulation na to. So, ganun din ang calculation dito sa first hip natin, i-apply natin dito. Ganun din ang formulation. Ano ba? 19 minus 16.5. The difference is 2.5, right? 2.5 inches. So, yung 2.5 i-divide sa 2.5 divided by 2 equals 1 and 1/4 or 3.4 of a centimeter. Okay? So, i-apply natin yung 1 and 1/4 here. 1 and 1/4. Dito rin 1 and 1/4. That's it. Sa second hip, ganoon din ang formulation dito. Gawin natin pang guhit. Ayan. And then ito, magpo-fall.
So, yan ang, ayan, yung nakalalabasan. Hindi siya masyadong nag-fall, no? Pero, hindi natin siya, no? Ay, ano ba? Ayan, sorry, nag-aano siya. Okay. Ayun. So, yan
Ang magiging kalalabasan ng ating